This is a continued discussion from the previous episode of Nose to Tail, a podcast where we explore the world of aviation lifecycle solutions, insights, and more. Presented by Jet Midwest.
From an aviation passion standpoint, I mean, obviously, I love your passion about how to get your lead time down. But, maybe what's something that people don't know about you that you got a passion for, whether it's in aviation or not, but certainly love to find out what makes Ryan tick a little bit.
Yeah.
Something we can maybe hold against you later on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you two things about me. The first one is we serve our customers the way that Christ served us. And we read Matthew 5 all the way through on the Sermon on the Mount of the way he told us to take care of each other. And that's how we treat everybody, every single person, the same way. We just follow exactly what he said, and that's how we serve them. And they've always come back because they feel like, man, those people will take care of you. No matter what, we will swear to our own hurt. If we told you 12 days, we're going to make it 12 days. If we have to stay late or we got to do this, you're not going to pay for that. We're going to pay for that because we told you we could handle it in 12 days. We already agreed on a price, so we're just going to make it happen. So that's the first thing about us, really, is that we're going to take care of people and serve them the way he told us how to. That's number one. Number two is if you're in the shop and you open the back door, the big bay door, you can watch the FedEx plane take off from Tulsa International Airport loaded down with packages, and we have worked our butt off. That ducting that's on there is taking that product wherever it's got to go, and then you'll see Delta take off, or you'll see United, and we've got ducts on there too that we repaired. And those people are probably going to go see a grandparent, or they're going to go to a vacation. They're getting ready to make a memory. And that's a passion of ours because when we open that big bay door, we're so close to the airport, we see him take off. You can see him. And you'll see that purple tail for FedEx, and you just know, buddy, you had a part in that. And that means something to us, all of us, because we love aviation. We love everything about it. We love what it does. We love the people it connects, the vacations it takes you to, the memories you make. I mean, you're a part of that. You made that happen too, buddy. It's like, that's an impact. That's an impact. And we don't take it lightly. So when you guys have a problem, we want to get you back in the air. If we don't get you back in the air, when we open up that big bay door, we don't see anything flying.
Yeah.
So that's us.
It is pretty amazing. I've made this comment before, but there's an awful lot of people in this building at the MRO.
Amen.
An awful lot of people here, and people outside of this building who just are at O'Hare Airport today, getting on a flight to head home or go to wherever they're going to be, have no idea the amount of effort and energy and all the things that have to go on to make them safely fly back and forth. I was talking to a client earlier today, and they were talking about an Airbus airplane, and they're wanting to buy, and they're like, well, I need something under 25,000 cycles. And you think about that. Airbus builds this airplane and it flies 25,000 times, and these guys are going to buy it and fly it for another 10. And that's an awful lot of human beings back and forth safely, back and forth. And it does take an awful lot of choreography to make that happen in the background. Probably doesn't always feel as choreographed, and it's not necessarily always a ballet. Sometimes it's orcs battling in the field to try and solve these problems, but it's pretty amazing that they seem to achieve those things and create that. And frankly, every aspect of aviation that's here, from the cabin to the freight to the ducting to engines, everybody's here, and it really is cool to see how every bit of this impacts what that is. Even the chemicals and bolts and washers and paint and everything else. So it's pretty awesome to be in a place where we get to experience all of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
So what's the next 5 years look like? I know you're talking about expanding some capabilities, and it sounds like you're going to have a new backdrop next year at MRO.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be good. Yeah. But what's the stuff you guys are adding and that you're excited to go into?
We've been approached about a couple of service bulletins that need to be done to some ducting. One operator has 141 aircraft. On top of the daily taking care of everyone, their operations, we have an additional opportunity for 141 aircraft to get in front of that. So the engineering, the logistics, the rotables, quick exchanges in front of that program. So we're looking forward to that. We just increased our capabilities so we could support more customers. And then we also added CAA UK cert. So now we're a tri-release shop. So that's huge, and that's important to us because now it's FAA, EASA cert with the CAA UK, which now you could stock and have total confidence that if the United Kingdom called and it's a G-rated tail number and they want to buy that duct from you, there is no issues because now you have EASA cert on it and you have CAA UK, which come December 24th, that requirement will be 100%. Now, there's a little bit of lax and there's some grace right there until December 24th, but after December 24th, a U.S.-based repair station must have that cert or that duct doesn't fly on those G-rated planes. Now, if you look at the operators over there that are on those G tail numbers, there's a ton of them. So we had to get in front of that. So now we're 8 months in front of that requirement. So the reason that we got after it that way is because now if you put something on your shelf stock, you don't have to worry about it. Now, if it sat there for 6 months, it doesn't matter because that tri-release 8130 is already on it 6 months before it had to be. So now you're protected, so whatever you stock, you're good to go. That thing will fly anywhere, and we're on top of that. So our growth, we like the size we are, and we like the team we have. We've been much larger in Florida before we moved to Tulsa. It's good, but right now, our ability to be efficient as a company and stay very profitable as a company is right there where we want it to be. And the size gets the product out. The number of people that are there and what they're doing, their part in that is working really well. So kind of want to stay the size we are, stay very efficient in what we're doing, pick up a few service bulletins where we've got 141 aircraft, 61 over there, get those service bulletins done so we can get those retrofitted for that particular modification, and on top of the daily operations for AvDUCT. So that's kind of what we see right now when we sit down to plan. That's kind of where we're at.
Nice. So was there anything unique about getting the new certificate? Was there anything unique about that, or was that pretty standard quality assurance guys getting together and
Yeah, so that is a process. A shout out to our quality manager, Rick Allison, and the interim quality manager, Art Cantlin, for really spearheading that and getting on the other side of that quickly, because all those processes are a whole nother quality manual in place, which is another process that has to be checks and balances, and it's just another thing to manage in quality. And so what's great about our shop is, and we're very thankful for this part, but we've had major airlines go through there and audit us on these repair contracts with zero findings. And that's huge. It's huge for us as an organization, and it's great because they have confidence in us. You guys have zero warranties with Jet Midwest. They have confidence in us. And so therefore, anything we have capabilities on, you're very comfortable to send it to us because they're like, hey man, I trust those guys. And then you don't have any warranties, so there is no issues. And you're going to take that part off that shelf, that with AvDUCT 8130, sell it, it's going to fly, it's going to keep those people safe, and then you just have total peace about it. So that's what we focus on. We've got some really good opportunities in front of us, and we can stay very busy this year just taking care of what's in front of us right now. We thank God for that, because to mod 141 ducks is good, because you're going to get dozens at a time hit. There's 14 numbers, there's 18 numbers on top of your daily operation.
Right.
So we know that's coming. We're looking forward to it.
No, that's awesome. Well, I hope you guys get that contract.
Yeah, me too.
That would be a nice little feeder to it. I'll have to talk to my repair coordinators, make sure they get a private line over here for Jet Midwest to make sure we've always got our ducks piped into that line.
Yeah, and I'm sure Leo will be calling you to buy some stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
That's even better.
Yeah,
that's
amen,
even better.
Amen.
It's I'll scratch your back, you can scratch mine, and it'll all work out just fine.
I love how this industry takes care of each other. We really do.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Aviation has a little bit of stress involved in it, if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? And it does, because it's important and it's critical. And there's some things that that you just have to spend extra time on because they're important. You know what I mean? And people's lives depend upon us doing what we're supposed to do every day, day in and day out. And it's a great industry, and we're proud to be a part of it. We love aviation. We're proud to be a part of it. We get Grandma to go see her grandkids on a plane, and we're a part of that. You're a part of that. And there's just a lot of moving pieces that make all that happen, and we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Certainly, one of the things I learned early on was doing a lot of cold calling, trying to sell my whatever I had that day. I was amazed at how many people are like, you're doing what? Nah, don't do that. You're doing it wrong. Call this guy. Call that guy. Nah, you need to, and people were very free with it. And I was confused. I was asking some of my colleagues, I'm like, is that like normal? Like they're telling me, like, are they messing with me? What's going on here? And they're like, no, call that guy. No, that guy's pretty smart. And so one of the things I've developed over my entire career is I don't feel like I need to hide anything. I don't really have much proprietary information in my brain. So I had a great meeting with a guy today, a huge opportunity, tens of millions of dollars over a handful of years. And I told him, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. I'll help you any way I can. And he's like, really? Like, yeah. Like, why wouldn't I? I can't win them all.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be there to help any way I can. And I think you're correct in that really is what the industry is. It's too hard to learn on your own. Like to sit in a silo and try and learn this business at any level would be too difficult. And you really need people to mentor and teach you. And we learn from our mistakes. There's a whole lot of those that happen, right? We screw a whole lot of things up, and hope we learn from those and then teach the people around us, hey, don't make that mistake.
Yeah, amen.
I was laughing with Ashley one time. I came out of a phone meeting, and a big grin on my face. She goes, what are you smiling about? That's a big smile. And I go, man, I just learned I lost $1 million on that deal. And she looked over and she goes, "Why are you smiling?" I go, "Because I ain't never going to make that mistake again." And the guy that I lost, it was still not a bad deal, but the gentleman that informed me of my error was more than happy to teach me. I think he was gloating a little bit, but it was definitely an educational, because he didn't have to tell me
right.
The mistake I'd made, and he did, and it was the first $1 million lesson I'd ever learned, and I won't forget it anytime soon. It's one of those things that actually took it in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
Because it's really what it was. And again, this business is just way too hard to do on your own.
Amen.
It takes all of us to get that done.
Amen.
So.
Amen. That's for sure.
Well, I always like to ask everybody what their favorite aircraft is and kind of why, and I've gotten some really great answers to it, so I like to just kind of leave that alone and let you just simmer on that. But get us, again, back in Ryan's brain here.
Yeah.
What is that aircraft that really rings true to you, and why does that make sense to you?
Ours is a 777. And there's a lot of reasons. One is the Lord's number, but two is those ducts are large, they're expensive, and they're easy to fix. And I shouldn't have said that.
Well, I love it. My favorite aircraft is the 757. And I think part of it is because it's a bit of a flying tank. It's a tough airplane.
Right.
But I've really enjoyed the customers and the clients I've developed as I've gone through my time tearing them down and refurbishing the parts and selling them. I've really had a nice time with the aircraft and those clients. And so I think I trend towards that. But one of the interesting things that people ask me is, why do you guys keep, you're on 777s and you guys aren't doing any 737s? I said, well, I can take a flap off of a 737, right? And it takes the same amount of energy as taking off a 777. Only got an extra digit, on the value of that. And certainly our foray in the last 5 years or so moving into the 777 marketplace has been fantastic. And in a couple of years, you might ask me the same question. I might wander over and say, yeah, maybe the 777 has taken over, because it certainly has been a fun ride. And it's also unique, right? A little bit like the 7.6, it's got lots of different engine types. And Jet Midwest being the wild hoarders that we are, we have all of them. Can't stick to one thing, right? Certainly 777, I hear you. It's moving up the list for me as well.
Yeah, the engineering on that aircraft for the ducting part of it, which is what we see, is actually really efficient, and we really like it. And 7 inches of titanium, and you spray it gold, and they wrap the blankets and you just tie them with the bow tie. It was like, you look at other aircraft that come out of France or whatever in that same size family of aircraft, totally way more complex, but it doesn't have to be. That aircraft is very efficient at what it does, and we really love that aircraft. We love when those parts show up. We know how to fix them, how quick to get them done. We've got everything in stock to support that aircraft for a number of years now, and so that's the one we really like.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, anything else for the folks since we're here? We got a chance to get open mic here, so.
Really, we just want to thank you, actually, because I know I speak for our entire team when we say our relationship with you guys, we value it and we appreciate you guys. And when you guys call, we feel like this is family that we're taking care of here. And so I'm just telling you that from all of us there, the Leo, the Art, the Rick, everybody, we love you guys. If there's anything we can ever do for you, we'll absolutely do it in a heartbeat. And if you got an AOG, we've got an AOG.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And you can tell Leo, I'm going to be doing lots and lots of shopping sprees this summer, so he's going to have to get himself
He'll be ready for
to Kansas City.
And get him up here on this podcast, too. He's got to experience this. This will be amazing.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to set some more up. We'll do some out of Kansas City every once in a while, so maybe we'll have him do one of those when he comes up do shopping.
Dude, that'd be great.
Hands will be dirty and face will be dirty, but that'll be all right. I think we'll be doing just fine.
Amen.
Well, listen, Ryan, I really appreciate you spending some time with us. I know you got valuable meetings happening. Good luck with the big projects. I'm excited to hear that you guys are going to win this. And again, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to all of our friends out there at MRO in Chicago, thank you very much for listening to the Nose to Tail podcast. And we will see you on our next episode.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Nose to Tail. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Presented by Jet Midwest.